السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا ابزغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا ابزغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Introduce the subject.
Yeah, so we've been discussing the phrase "in the name of God" for the last maybe 9-10 weeks, and we've been talking about how I guess as a conclusion, how everything in existence acts in the name of its creator, or not in its own name, because it portrays qualities that go far beyond its capacity. So last week we were discussing in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. We were getting into it, and we were talking in particular about how I have to use both my reasoning and my feelings in confirming something for myself, and in the journey of belief confirmation, I have to start with my reasoning and check the content of that which I've reasoned, to see if it fits with my feelings at the end.
Very simply and briefly, can you tell us what does "in the name of God" or "in the name of something"? What does it mean?
In the name of God means that whenever I experience a particular quality in existence, meaning that, let's say, I'm drinking water and I'm experiencing this quality of life through it. In the name of God means that whatever quality that I am experiencing or I'm observing cannot be from the thing itself. That whatever it is that I'm interacting with must be acting in the name of, or under the command of, or as a result of the will of an absolute being, the conscious will.
Yeah, you mean that it is not acting on its
On
own
accord.
power, on its own qualities, but it is acting on depending on the power of something else. So here, in the name of God, for example, if someone comes and says, not the phrase exactly the same phrase, "in the name of the administration of this institution, I am requiring you to do this." It means not on my power. I am getting the power from the one who is responsible or owner of this institution. So he doesn't say it verbally, but the badge or the ID card shows that I am a member, an employee of this institution. It means I am requiring you to do something in the name of the source of authority. It means the owner of this building. Exactly the same way. It seems to be simple, when you say in the name of God, which the simple, everybody is familiar with this phrase, Bismillah. Even the non-Muslims are familiar with this phrase, which they hear from the Muslims almost all the time. So, in the name of God, it means the things, including myself, or whatever I am interacting with, is not acting within its own power. So simple. It means whatever God means for this person, the thing is acting, whatever it seems to be acting, depending on the power of the one who is employing it. Simple. So when you say Bismillah, we should remember this. Yeah, it should remind us, this phrase should, or it is expected to remind us that, look, it's not you who is really performing the action, but because of somebody else's authority, you are enabled to do this. But as for yourself, you cannot do it. That is reality. We have been studying it for a long time, actually. Nothing can act on its own, including human beings, because nothing can be the source of existence of the action they are performing. They cannot bring into existence, but they are using whatever is given to them. That is why we have to be conscious of it when you say, for example, Bismillah, I am doing. There's something problematic there. You are saying, I am getting my power from somebody else, and I am doing this. No, the man says, who comes with a badge or ID card, that I am acting on in the name of the authority of this, or the owner of this building. If you ask him, are you really chasing us away? He will say, no, not me, no. Who am I? But the administration wants you. I am just an envoy. Yeah, just a representative. I'm just bringing the news to you. That's it. I cannot do them. I cannot act and force to do something what I want and impose it on 10 people, 20 people. That's it. You got it very simple. So he must be aware of it by showing the badge to us. But look, I'm not doing it on my power. So when I ask you to do something, it is not from me. No, I'm just an envoy. Now, bringing the news from the administration to you. That's it. So simple. Exactly the whole universe, every part of the universe, as the text studied deeply and extensively, that every part of the universe, every particle of the universe is saying, or we should perceive and understand that I am acting in the name of the owner of this universe, not me. That is the consciousness that we are trying to gain and implement in our life. So it is not complicated. It is not hard to digest either. Study everything. What they are doing is so wonderful. But when we look at their qualities, they have no quality of themselves. They are employed, which is not difficult at all. No? Okay. Any question? Shall we start now? Reading. Okay. We will go step by step. Now, we will extend into, not in the name of God, but in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Yeah. So it is how the Quran presents the case to us. We will see if it makes sense to us or not.
In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. The queen said, ye chiefs.
Well, you, huh? Or chief, actually.
O chiefs, Here is, delivered to me, a letter worthy of respect. It is from Solomon, and is as follows. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate.
Yeah, this is the verse taken from the Quran. Okay.
A number of mysteries will be mentioned in this station.
Now we have to pay attention and prepare our mind that we have been studying in the name of God for how many weeks? 11 weeks. Now we are extending it into who is this God and what does he represent for us? God, the divine being, but his quality is being merciful and also compassionate. So we will see the relationship between a divine being and his qualities, merciful and compassionate, how they are aligned to each other and necessitated each other. These are the main fundamental qualities that we are encountering with in the existence of this universe. First things that we see, divine being in the universe, which is called God. The name of this divine being is presented in the text as God, and being a divine being requires to be compassionate, to be merciful. Of course, we will have the question in our mind, does it really require? We will see if there is a sign for us to confirm it or not. Okay.
Should I continue? First mystery.
If mystery means something to be discovered, enigma, so we have to understand it. Although it is not apparently, the things are not saying, I am acting in the name of God, apparently, but we have to reason about it and discover it. That's why human beings are qualified with this or given ability to discover the meaning behind what material things appear to be. I mean, always, and I have been presented a letter today, for example, a paper. It was a paper. And I opened it. Oh, it was written something on it. I read it, and I understood what this paper, just a paper, represents, conveys to me. That is, the mystery is being a paper and nothing else, but solving the mystery is human ability to discover what it says to me, which meaning it carries to me. So we have to see this correlation always. Something is out there to be discovered, to be understood, to be solved for human beings. That's why human quality is not like every human being. We don't consist of body only. Body cannot discover anything, but human side within us, whatever it is. Well, scripture says it is ruh, soul, spirit, but whatever it is, doesn't matter. The names are not important. So we have something within us which discovers what the meaning of the matter represents to us. And from there, we understand that the matter is not matter. Paper is not paper. So somebody gave me a letter today. I wouldn't say, you gave me the paper. This person will feel offended. I gave it to you to convey something. You are a human being. Read it, understand the meaning. That's what you are expected of you. So we have to think, we have to understand, so that we will come to ourselves that in my being, what is the mystery, enigma that I have to solve? Which kind of being I am? But the most important question, who am I? Yeah? Whatever, even a piece of paper conveys message. Definitely, I convey message to my own consciousness. Yeah. Consciousness discovers this so wonderful being. I'm always amazed when I use the word consciousness. It is self-aware and also aware of the truth of others, the reality of others, meaning of others as well. And it is aware of its own meaning as well. It is so mysterious, really. But we experience it, we use it. It is so, uh, say, it became cheap or taking for granted quality of human being. No, we know. That's what I like, I don't like, but that means this for me, it is insulting, it is exaggeration, it is true, it is wrong, it is honoring or dishonoring. We are making a lot of interpretations of the events. We never sit and think that, what am I that I'm doing? I'm able to do all this. Oh, what am I? Why am I able to do all this? We don't think who we are. We think who this man is. Huh? I see you the first time, brother.
Yes.
So, welcome. So, I wonder who is this man. I don't wonder who I am. So contradictory, so confusion, so also unrealistic aspect of us. We don't think ourselves. We should be amazed with our own being. Unfortunately, that is my reality. I don't know whether it may not be yours. Hopefully, it is not your reality, it's my reality. I evaluate other people. He's a nice man, he's something. I know what, question myself. Yeah. I never try to understand myself, but I want to understand the other than myself, of course.
Sorry, are you gonna talk about the verse, how it is related to our topic? Merciful.
Not yet. No, not yet. But we can, but not now. I think all these qualities are given to us in order to understand our own reality. Our own reality, all these qualities, especially this consciousness, is given to us in order to understand our own reality. The human soul is such that it is able to question itself, and also it is able to question the meaning of others, and it is also able to comprehend which kind of responsibilities it must have. But before this, I made a mistake in my listing. What is the purpose of my existence with this quality, and which kind of responsibilities I have in order to fulfill or achieve this purpose of my existence, especially what is neglected. You know that I don't care about people's religious identity or being religious or irreligious. I don't give any importance to it. So, whether you are religious or not, doesn't matter. What is the purpose of your existence? Have you thought about it? Accordingly, your identity will make sense for you or be used. It is going to be used for you. Otherwise, you keep identity and continue without knowing who you are. Yeah. I mean, like this. For example, if someone say, "Can you please introduce yourself to me?" He will say, "My name." Okay, it's external, isn't it? Your name doesn't describe you. It's a title. I was born. It's not your choice. Why do you mention? Somewhere. Okay. I am a student. Okay. Being a student is external. Who are you? Introduce yourself. Speak to people. I don't think you can communicate with anyone nowadays. He will introduce himself. Check yourself. Can you introduce yourself? It's very difficult. Look, we are occupied with the concerns, not describing ourselves, but external, as if clothes to me. If I say, "Who are you?" If someone asks me, "Who are you?" I will say, "I am this sweater." Everybody will love it. But what's the difference between I am the sweater or I was born in an X country? Even you don't know why this country is called a country. It's a political institution, made up story. It has no reality. But it's just a name put by somebody else. Nothing to do with you. And also your being born is really nothing. You are born, so what? Yeah, what are you here? How do you describe yourself? So we are very negligent of our reality, so that we will start questioning what my purpose of existence is. How am I going to reach this purpose or fulfill this purpose? Which kind of responsibilities, if I have, or I have in order to fulfill this purpose? It means responsibility means what am I supposed to do in order to accomplish this purpose? Well, the first question is ignored. How can you go to second and third? This is the fundamental question. So if you like, you can go home, sit in your room, and take nowadays no one uses paper and pen. So I realized that from the students that I'm interacting with in the college, I asked them to write their names and email addresses. How horrible the handwriting is. It's very difficult for me to read. I understand that they are millennium children. They don't use writing. But that, okay, write it down on a piece of paper. Believe me, college student couldn't spell his name. No, not all, one. Couldn't spell his name. And one of them is minuscule, the other one is capital, and uppercase, small case, mixed up. And also, you cannot see whether it's Y or G, or you cannot see whether it's Z. You cannot make the distinction. It is not a great deal, but I understand that we are dependent on the machine nowadays totally. It's okay. I mean, it is doing the job. All right. You don't have to be a calligrapher. So it is the profession anyway. It's all right. But take your computer or even iPhone, whatever, or smartphone, whatever it is, and ask yourself, who am I? Hmm? And think, how many qualities or not qualities, rather than saying that I am a teacher, I am a student, I am an engineer, these are external. It doesn't describe your reality. These are, you could have been an engineer, could have been a doctor, could have been a worker, doesn't matter, is it? You could have been a sanitary guy. What's wrong with it? It's a job. Sanitary guy cleans the dirt of the people, and the finance guy helps the dirt of the capitalists. So what is the difference? So this is a sanitary guy as well. It doesn't matter. I'm not belittling anyone, but it doesn't give me any value. Okay, if I am a businessman, okay, I am the slave of the capital I have to make more and more increase it. That's slavery again, another type of slavery. Although you may say it's my, let us say, personal job. No, I am the boss of myself. You don't know who you are. How can you say that you are the boss of yourself? Boss of what? You don't know what. Boss of what? So this is a very strange thing. I wouldn't say this is the disease of this age. No, no, no. Depending on the person, it is very human actually to ignore himself, pass himself, and try to evaluate others. He's a nice person, blah, 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 blah. Why? He's sympathetic or not, rude, whatever. But how about me? Who am I is ignored. That is the most important problem. So in this case, we need definitely a reminder. Well, remind us exactly what my mission is in this universe, so that I will be trying to do something. We understand that we need really a guidance from outside. Outside means outside of ourselves. In order to point out to my own reality, to me. Do you understand that? So look, you have these qualities. Have you noticed that? That is because I am noticing the qualities of others. I'm not noticing the qualities of myself. So I need to be taught and reminded by the one who made me with this quality, an extra reminder from outside of me, and remind me who I am, what my mission of existence, mission in my existence is. I need this. That we have to look for it as well. Otherwise, whoever manufactured me, gave existence to me, will be doing something not really possible to reach the aim of existence. We will always shortcoming because even you go and stand in front of a mirror, you see your physical body. You don't see your humanity, human side. So you can even behave in certain ways in order to impress the others, not realize yourself. Can it be the purpose of my existence? We have to ask this question. Then it comes out, how do you say, unravels that who I am, what am I going to do, or is there any way that which reminds me who I am, so that I will get guidance from the one who made me. In this case, okay. Now the verse. Verses, if somebody is interested in the verse, it is something to do with the queen got a letter from somebody called Solomon. Does it matter the names, the qualities? No. But queen means, according to me, oh, the queen, but she has a position in the social structure of a certain community. Okay. And she received a letter from Solomon. Who's Solomon? Solomon? Now, we don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. I don't care, whoever he is. But what am I reading? A narration about something presented to me with the hero name, if you like. How do you say the one who plays the hero in the film, movie?
Protagonist.
One person.
The protagonist.
See? Say it.
The protagonist.
Protagonist.
So-
Protagonist.
Protagonist. What the hero? Yeah, protagonist. I didn't know this. Well, I have to learn this word. Protagonist. It means represents a certain position. Yeah, in the film. Represents. Okay. Solomon is the protagonist of the scenario. And the author of the scenario tells it is fulfilling a mission representing for you. Yeah. And this mission is to carry my message to you. Right? So it is called prophets or messengers. Right? So it is not important. The name was a messenger or not. No way to get any benefit from arguing about it. The title is important. Oh, it is presented, a name is presented to me, a person who is employed by the Creator to let them know who they are. What are they expected to do? Okay, let me listen to him what he is doing. Yes? And apply it to my own reality, what it means for me. So this says the letter he wrote to the queen in order to let the queen know who she is. Yeah, not as a queen. No, her position is queen, representing a group of people, right? So expected to convey the message to her people. But first of all, she must understand first. So she called advisory board, if you like, chiefs. It means really consultants. Her consultants, collect in the sentence, gather them, call them, get here. Look, I received a letter which says, in the name of God, the compassionate and merciful. And no more. I mean, the letter may start with this, doesn't matter. In narration, no more. Right? What does it mean? In the name of God. So the essence of the letter is there. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. It means not in the, how do we know historically, which is irrelevant to me, Solomon was a king, commander-in-chief of the huge army. But he says, in the name of God, not in the name of my kingdom, my authority. That is the scenario. Be careful. You may be the president or king of a million people, millions of people. You have to act in the name of God. Admit this. You cannot say that it is from the king, from Solomon, the king of such and such country. Stupid. None of my business. Even you are a king, you cannot act on yourself depending on your power. So be careful. Admit that you are, whatever the position is you have in the society, regardless of the status of your status in the society, you have to be careful. I am acting in the name of God. So, making the same suggestion to the queen, although she may think that she has the power, or maybe thousands of people during that time, population wasn't very dense as it is now. Okay, you should act in the name of God. Admit that, be careful about it. That's your reality. It doesn't mean that otherwise I'm going to destroy it. No. Be careful. It is letting the queen, or this figure, another protagonist, is it right? I'm trying to learn. Another protagonist represents an authority but haven't received the message from her creator. So she is receiving the message anew now. Now she's thinking about it, what it is, what is going on. So how can I benefit from this sentence? What does it mean for me? As far as we understand, the text here says, whatever the authority you have to act in the name of God, not in your own name. And also, messengers' duty is not to oppress you, not to force you, coerce you, anybody, but let them know that their existence is in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Their mission is to acknowledge that they have to act, they have to interact with the rest of the universe, acknowledging and being careful, being aware that they have to act in the name of God. It means, God means represents what? God again, in this text that we read, this narration, which is called the Quran, it claims that it's the speech of God. We say, is it really the speech of God? We are reading it. And this text says, God means, in the original language, Rabbul Alamin, to make it easy for us to what we do, because we are accustomed with this language. What does it mean? Is the owner, the administrator, the establisher, the originator of this universe. Yeah, this God means this. So everything is acting in or with the authority, qualities belonging to the originator, the creator of this universe. I have to say, is this message really okay? For example, can I exist with the authority, with the qualities, getting the authority from the originator of the universe? That's what I have to ask, rather than indulging into meaningless discussion. Who was the Suleiman? Where he was? Get the message, man. Get the message. So we are not going in that aspect. It's pointless to me. Even, how do you say, veils, covers the purpose of the verse, the speech of the Creator, talking about the physical things. Who was Solomon? How many wives did he have? Stupid things, considerations. So where was it? Where was Sheba? In the South Arabian Peninsula, yeah, next to Yemen. What are you going to do? What are you going to do there? Oh, it's there. Okay. The world is round. So wherever it is the center of the world anyways. It is the top. We are here on the top of the universe. I'm here on the top. For this man, he's on the top. Everyone is on the top. Everyone is important. Don't worry about it. So it really covers up, makes the message of the verse foggy. You get lost into historical context rather than saying, what does in the name of God mean? Yeah? What is it to do with me? I'm not the queen of Sheba. I'm not the queen. I'm not the prophet Solomon. So what is it to do with me? Very simple, in a very simple way. So if I send a letter to somebody, I have to start the letter with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Again, nothing to do with me. It's external writing composition conditions. What to write in your composition of your letter. Ridiculous. Who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you writing in the name of God there? For what? Have you applied to yourself? Have you questioned it within yourself? Come on, I mean, we shouldn't be simple-minded. Now, we shouldn't reduce this guidance from our Creator to very simple thing. How to write the composition of a letter. How to compose the letter. So, did it make any sense? The content of the verse. So it is just that I wanted to give or share my understanding of how to read the speech of God. To read it as a speech of your Creator. Read it as a guidance from your Creator, answering your very existential questions. Because we know our body. So we know how much we weigh, how tall we are, which skin color we have, which kind of biological organs our body has. We all know that body. We don't know our humanity, human side, soul. No one teaches us. No one teaches us. Even those people who study psychology, it means the science of soul, psyche, yeah, spirit, still studies human illnesses, disorder. What are the disorders that human beings may have? How about the order, man? What is the order? What is it? Why are you concerned with disorder while you don't know what the order is in your psychic side? Soul. You don't know what soul is? He's studying the problems of soul. That is science. We are immersed with this current of the world. Not only now, no, it has been the disease for ages. But a human policy to me. Well, of course, there are exceptions, yeah, definitely, who really try their best to understand why human soul is. Well, it means what I am, not necessarily you don't know what soul is. I'm not going to study physical description of the soul. Yeah, it is not a physical being. I'm aware of it. Forget about it. It is me. So who am I? Yeah. What does it represent? What is the function of it? What is the purpose of it? What is the mission of it? There are some exceptional cases, but generally, when we think about, or when we hear or think about learning something, what we learn everything but ourselves. But ourselves. We can learn everything. How atom works. They go into the deep particles, subparticles. Which kind of qualities they have. No one says that which kind of qualities you have. Yourself. Have you studied that deep? They study how the cell is developing and acting, reacting, whatever, changing, adapting, evolving. All right. But how are you adapting your reality to your environment, human side? How do you communicate with the universe? How can you communicate with your environment, within yourself as a human being? Why? You see, no one studies this. But what is the irony is the text represents the speech of the Creator to give guidance to study myself is also diverted into external knowledge. Take the commentary books on the couldn't study. I am fed up with them. I am always with them if I study them a lot. So this morning somebody really disappointed me a lot while he was making a commentary on the verse of the Quran, verse from the Quran. It is an interesting subject. It's an interesting subject. I really, really want to share it with, but it's a matter of time. Okay. The Quran is, to me, not yet discovered treasury. I can tell you that much. But covered up treasury, yes. This is the reality. That's what I realize. Not yet discovered. The message side of it, no. Information side of it, hugely employed. Check, go and read the books if you can. But you have to be very patient. I'm patient. With the books, I'm patient. That's what you say. Okay, I understood from your mistakes or correct things. I benefit from them, but check yourself. But I was reading one of them. Very famous and very commonly used one. I was reading, without realizing I threw it on. Come on, don't keep me busy, man. With the trash, garbage. Really, it's unbearable. Lots of garbage. Okay, I will tell you one thing. In the Quran, later period of the Quran has a big problem with two cases. It was Medina period of the Prophet has two problems. One of them is people of hypocrisy. Hypocrites. The other one is Jews. It keeps telling Jews that if you go to Israel and they have the heritage lineage, in their records. They don't have any record that the Jews were in Medina that time. They are very careful about this science. How is it called? This science of genealogy? Something. Abu Bakr was very famous about it in the time of the Prophet. Science of genealogy? Or there is another name, if anybody knows it.
Ancestry, like genealogy is the right word.
Genealogy, yeah? Okay. It's very careful, recorded thousands of years. There is no trace of Jews in Medina. Although in the practical life, some people were there, claimed to be Jews, maybe converts, we don't know. I mean, historically, it is thought that they came from Yemen. Something happened in Yemen. A part of them moved into Hijaz. It means Central Arabian Peninsula. That's historical information. But doesn't matter. They represent something. So the later period of the life of the Prophet was informed about a Jewish attitude. Now, we are not talking about the people. The Quran never ever talks about the people, but in order to, because Quran keeps or tells in a concrete sense. It means, what do you mean concrete sense? Personified sense. So it will remain in the minds of the people. Like we are reading here, Queen of Sheba, Solomon. Then the Quran talks about certain tribes of Medina, outskirts of it. Doesn't matter, outskirts, center, doesn't matter. So, but what is important? The attitude that the Quran criticizes. What is that? Very basic attitude that under the name of Jews, Beni Israel, children of Israel, the very basic attitude is to twist the meaning of the text, cover it, and bury the message into historical information. Do you get it? Do you understand this? We blame Jews. They changed the text. They covered it up. It's an example. They covered it up with the hand while they were saying that what the Torah says in an argument, in a dispute. And the person was reading it but covering one sentence. Excuse me, don't we do the same thing to the Quran? Mm-hmm. And while we are blaming the Jewish tradition, they turned all the message of the Creator into history, into just events, rather than the heart, the cracks of the message. History, narrations, interpretations of what? Narrations, not interpreting the meaning. It is welcomed to me. Narrations, making the whole story. In the text, there are 3 points. What they are doing, they are combining the lines. Is it called combining the dots or connecting the dots, making a whole story, 20 pages, 50 pages of the story. Excuse me, don't we do the same thing? Story? Huh? Can I ask you what happened to people of Cave? Oh, there were how many young people? They were 7, 8, 5, 3, whatever. And in the cave was here, and at that time the king was this. It's a Jewish attitude that the Quran keeps blaming. What is the message, man? For me. Yeah, we have to be aware this, and accordingly try to find out, be selective, try to find out what the message is telling me directly related to my case, so that I will benefit from the instruction of the originator of my being. How the, for example, instruction of the engineer of the computer that I'm using. Yeah, rather than telling that, I paid such an amount of money for this, it was produced in China, assembled in the United States. No, tell me, what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with it? Produce here and there? None of my business. What am I going to do with it? What is the purpose of being a machine there in front of me? Exactly the same thing. We have to read the instruction in order to know how to operate myself as a human being, not your body. It is not a body build or body beauty instruction. It is yourself, your soul, your human side. How is it educating? How the originator of your existence educating, training you what to do with your being? Okay, somebody may say, look, excuse me, we came to study this text, but you are talking about Jewish tradition and what's happening to the Quran. I mean, if we don't know this, reading this text wouldn't make sense to us. Because the aim of this text never deals with history, narrations, nothing directly related to my being. We have to understand why it is not like the others following the tradition of commentary. That's why most of the people say this book, it is, by the way, I don't know how many volumes, so far 7 volumes have been translated into English, more than this originally. And they say it is not a commentary on the Quran because it doesn't follow the traditional tafsir way of interpreting the Quran. There is no historical background, there is no information, there is no knowledge. Alim. It is just talking and making philosophy. We will see how it makes the philosophy. What does it about? Look, we'll see. Narrated the verse, we never talks about the verse. Nobody talks who Solomon was, who Queen was, where were they, what was the date, how many people the Queen was ruling over, and how powerful the Solomon's army was. But, and also takes one verse and never mentions the verse again. Gives the gist message of the verse. Huh? That's the point. That's why they argue, some people in the field, this book, these collections, cannot be deemed a commentary. Have you heard this? The people are fighting there, over there, whether it is a commentary or not. It's ridiculous. People are busy with really, as I told you, and this will be the last comment of this, and we will go to the first mystery. We are heavily occupied and concerned with everything but ourselves. Never forget this. It is my lesson for that is the biggest mistake that science or education institutions are falling into the biggest mistake. They don't teach us who we are. All sorts of subjects are there. None of them teaches me who I am. In general, of course, in general, there may be some particular people, but this is not the purpose of education system nowadays. Not to teach you to become how to become a very qualified, successful slave. All right, let's go back to our reality.
First mystery. I saw one manifestation of, in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, as follows.
Okay.
On the face of the universe, the face of the earth, and the face of man are three stamps of dominicality, one within the other, and each showing samples of the others.
Now we have to be careful about that. Now, first of all, it's a step. It means sign. eh? Or how are we going to uh, find it out? Find God, the manifestations of God, the merciful, the compassionate. So this stem, the stem is a sign of something else. So like your signature. Okay. So the stem, first universe, and then face of the earth as we see it, and face of man. It means not this face. No. On the field of the universe, on the field of the earth, in this universe, and on the field of human reality. What human beings are, not body. Human reality is not human body. Human body is, as we always say, the vehicle carrying humanity. Yeah. So stems of dominicality. Dominicality, well, it is something, the one who owns it, operates over it, administers it, takes care of it, maintains it. Okay. Rububiyet, educates it, right? Tries to make it reach its purpose of existence, right? Rububiyya, it's Arabic. So one within the other. It means they are not separately functioning. They are functioning as a requirement of each other. It means interdependent, interlocked, intertwined, but different side of it, right? For example, you have different feelings as I have, so as I do. So, for example, sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are unhappy, sometimes we are joyful, sometimes we feel pain, but the same thing has different operations or appearances, like this one. But ultimately, it is the same source. It is the same. It means me, my soul. Okay, like this, showing samples of the other. It means we can really change the positions, but knowing that these are different aspects of the same thing, yeah, same reality, dominicality. Okay. Anything more that we would like to? If not, we can go to the first.
The first is the great stamp of Godhead, which is manifested through the mutual assistance, cooperation, and embracing and corresponding to one another of beings in the totality of the universe.
Mhm.
This looks to, in the name of God.
God. It means Godhead means divinity or being a divine being. Yeah. God is the divine being, the absolute being, who is the originator of the universe. Godhead means this quality, being the divine being, how this quality is easily and at first glance observable, but when then it is possible to see it in the face of the whole universe. What are the qualities of this universe now? We can, of course, we don't have to accept it. We can think. For example, what the text says? Through mutual assistance. This is observable in the reality that you see in the universe, that mutual assistance. Now, it means everything assists each other. Now, not only I assist my friend or my child, but at the same time, my child is assisting me too, mutually. Look at the universe, all the elements, but of course you have to very large vision. Of course, as much as you can imagine, of course you cannot reach the end, even by imagination. So the universe is so much, but you see that everything is interdependent to each other. No one is acting independently at all. Nothing. From the atoms, particles, to the galaxies, they are all dependent on each other. How come? How come? They are unconscious beings. Do you think the sun, the moon, or I don't know, other galaxies or other stars, or they are conscious beings? Do you think they have free will? Do you think the sun, the moon has or have free wills? Do you?
No.
They are bound to the order, but the order is established in such a way that they need each other. For example, moon is dependent on the earth. Earth is dependent on the sun. Sun is dependent on the whole galaxy. And whatever this, I don't know the name, Milky Way, that's simple. Well, they call it another, there is another way, but it's a long word. Milky Way galaxy is dependent on other galaxy clusters. But the whole universe in its totality is also dependent on something else. On, as the text says, the originator of the universe, Godhead. Godhead. So Godhead is manifesting itself at a very extremely huge, immense face of the universe. This universe can have an existence only by someone who has given it, and his existence is beyond imagination, self-existent, and the whole universe depends on this originator of the universe. Must be, otherwise it is dependent on what? Yeah. But including every single being in the universe is dependent on it. It means as a whole is dependent, as it is minute particles are dependent on each other, on each other, on each other. And this is the establishment or the place of manifestation of Godhead. Yeah, in Arab, in the original language, it's uluhiyah. So uluhiyah, divine being. You know, this ilahiyat, the science of ilahiyat, is called divinity. It's the same. So we understand that we have to pay attention to mutual assistance among everything in the universe, cooperation among everything in the universe. Yep. And embracing each other, not excluding. Look at your own being, it's the same. Your physical body, yeah, biological body. Your heart is dependent on your lung is dependent on your on atmosphere, air, it's dependent on each other, Nothing can operate in this world independently. No one can show that something that they say nowadays, the very famous and very not well cooked, prepared idea that the cell is acting on its own and finding out its own way to fit the environment in the best way and survive, as if it is acting by itself. And we start questioning whether this theory is famous evolution theory is really correct. I don't care. Everything is dependent on you. Why should I bother about the content of the theory? Everything is dependent on each other. That's it. Can you show me one thing is acting without being dependent on the order of the universe, and the order of the universe is fixed? It means it is not acting by itself, on its own, in its own name. It is acting in the name of the creator of the universe, originator of the universe. Why? Well, ultimately, it boils down to this point. The whole universe is dependent with its all simple parts. So simple. There's no way to argue. To me. Okay. Finish. Got ahead. All right. The second.
The second is the great stamp of divine mercifulness, which is manifested through the mutual resemblance and proportion, order, harmony, favor, and compassion in the disposal, raising, and administration of plants and animals on the face of the earth. This looks to, in the name of God, the merciful.
Now it is becoming as if zooming first, the telescope was wide enough to cover the universe. It means human imagination telescope. Now come to zoom in your own immediate environment. Here we are. Yeah. Go into detail now. Yeah. You can go into detail around you now on the earth. It is why it is important. First of all, we know that human beings are much more interested in anything which is more directly related to his life. Yeah. For example, you don't know what is going on in the galaxy, but you are very much interested in whether today is cold or warm, according to Nile wear. That's my immediate concern. So this is why in the text or in the speech of the Creator, when he is, the Creator is giving instruction to human beings how to understand their reality, he equally mentions the heavens, the whole universe, and earth. And earth. Because as far as my field of collecting the data in order to understand what my position is in this universe in its totality, huge, provides me information or gives me information as much as far as I am concerned, my capacity is concerned, I can gather from the earth. Do you understand this? Because I gather more information from the earth, because more detailed than the heavens. Heavens is general, right? This is more specific, more related to my life. So as far as the value of the heavens and the earth is concerned, for my understanding of my own reality, they are almost equal value. That's what Quran says, as-samawati wal-ard. As-samawati wal-ard. Because he's training me. Do you get it? So you can use this samawat and earth in equal values, but of course, you see something on the surface of the universe, on the face of the universe, as it appears to you, and on the face of the earth, but the information is available for you almost comes down to the same amount. So pay attention to your immediate environment and try to see what's going on in this world. See that. What do we see? The text says, through the mutual, through the mutual resemblance. Speeches, we see them, yeah, each other, mutual resemblance. So they are directly related, and proportions, for example, what the best proportion is what? The amount of oxygen in the atmosphere, for example, or other elements, ozone, whatever, I don't know that. So just the appropriate amount for the need of the living beings. The proportions, perfect. Yeah. In your body is a part of the earth anyways. Yeah. So in the man, with a man, then he will speak to human side, not body. No. For your body, look, you have kidneys enough to clean your liquid in your body. You have heart enough to pump the body in order to clean it. You have lungs enough, perfectly. Our liver is a ridiculous thing. They have more than 300 functions or something. So manufacturers, everything is produced. I think balanced, adjusted. Oh, what they say, you go crazy. And I'm not aware of even where it is in my being. And without being ashamed of myself, I describe myself with my body. Even I don't know I don't know almost nothing about my body. I claim my body. There's a very famous thing. I liked it in order to attract my attention. If you describe yourself with your body, I will say, or you can tell me the same thing. To me, that is your body. Who are you? It is different, isn't it? Yeah. You say, this is my head, my brain. Okay. Your brain, who are you? See the difference? That is your brain. Who are you? If I say, this is my pencil, yeah, this is your pencil. Who are you? You can say. Right? Go back to your own body. That is your skin. Who are you? Your skin, because I am. This is mine. Who are you? So that you can attribute the things to it, whatever it is. That is the human problem, that we are not aware of who we are. We don't think about it. Okay, that is the very interesting. I think this is the second time when I realized that it's very important. I'm sharing it with you. But it is so important that we have to repeat and emphasize on the importance of it. Yeah, I'm saying this. Well, I have a pain in my stomach. Okay, that is the pain in your stomach. Why bother? Who are you that you are bothering about the pain in your stomach? Who are you? What are you going to do without the pain? Because you don't know who you are. You just live accidentally, as if randomly happened thing. That's what they say. Human beings developed as an accidental event. The sequences of accidental events. It took millions of years. So what is the, at the end? I am the product of accidental events. So what the materialist people can the best describe themselves as product of accidental events. Which kind of human dignity they have? And on top of this, they claim that I am a dignified person. You don't know this person. You are saying I am the person. Stupid. To me, waste of time. Okay. Order. We see the order much better here. Okay. And harmony. Yeah. And there's a harmony. Everything is mutually harmonious to each other. You see? Anything. We relate the industrial productions and the pollutions accordingly. I mean, they call it unnatural, and it means not according to the way the things are created in order to be used. We misuse them, and then it's an interesting verse in the Quran says that because of the actions, the acquisitions, acquiring, or the choices, let's make it iktisab, of the human beings, the corruption happened. It's in the Quran. Eh? There was no pollution problem at all when the Quran was revealed. Corruptions are happening on the earth and on the seas. Can you get fish now not polluted with waste? It's very dangerous. It causes cancer. What is that? Come on.
Mercury.
Sorry?
Mercury?
Mercury. I'll say it.
Chemical.
Mercury.
No?
Mercury.
No, I don't know. Mercury? Mercury it is the product of what? This atomic trials and causes energy. What they call it? What's
Like
waste?
nuclear waste? Is that? I don't know.
Whatever.
Toxic stuff.
Yeah. So you cannot get. That's what people advise now. The dietaries, dietitists, correct?
Dietitians.
Dietitians advise don't eat fish frequently. Why? They are all polluted.
Don't eat fish.
So interesting. Sorry?
Don't eat fish.
Fish, yeah?
From
Don't eat fish. Because they are polluted. They are cancerous. Why? Quran says because of the human caprices, being capricious or not eager, not satisfied,
Greedy.
greedy, human greed. Corruption happened on the earth and in the sea.
So that'd be like it went from harmony to imbalance. Is that what you mean?
So they,
Because you were talking about how the Quran was showing how it was harmony, but then humans created imbalance.
yeah, balance. If you spoil the balance,
Yeah.
become greedy, yeah, you need something else. Use it, but don't be greedy. When you become greedy, you start spoiling it. And God says, look, I'm going to show you that you are behaving wrongly by creating all these environmental problems, disorder. It is so clear. But it is interesting at the same time. That time there was nothing in the sea, on the earth, when the Quran was first revealed. Sign of pollution at all. The animals were dying, the other animals were cleaning them perfectly. Sanitary problem, there was no other than what human beings makes. But that time it didn't affect the sea at all. No one knew it. So it is one interesting point. Anyway, order, harmony, favor. Everything is in favor of the other one. Even the animals, they call it something vicious. They're eating animals eating animals, like falcons and
Carnivores.
say it,
Carnivores.
carnivores, and also plant eating plant. They are called
Omnivores.
omnivore. So you see that they are eating that, but they are helping each other, keeping the balance, harmony. Yeah. When you kill the bugs, what will happen? Ask the biologists, environmentalists. Sorry?
It would be more bacteria.
The-
Bugs eat the bad.
Whatever. I mean, for example, lots of species are nowadays really becoming extinguished, right? No, extinct. Extinct. Now, are they worrying or not? The experts, environments, worrying a lot. You know why? It is spoiling the harmony, spoiling the favor on the earth. We understand that there is a conscious organization, so simple. And the matter itself cannot do it. In the name of the creator, originator, they are acting in this way. Not in their name, in their authority, in their power, within their power. Okay, let's finish at this. Favor and compassion. You see that? This is a compassion. It can't be an enmity. So in order to help everything, create everything in such a way that they help each other, they work in harmony, they are useful for each other, everything. So we see compassion. What the materialist people see? Struggle. Yeah. Everybody is struggling for survival. Look at the mentality. Why? Completely twisted, diverted vision of the creation. Struggle. Because animals are eating plants. If you ask the plants, why do you keep cutting your grass every week? Huh? Are you an animal struggling with the grass? You know that it's harmful. Even it is harmful for the health of the grass. Why do you do that? They say we are animal lovers. So, all right, welcome. Yeah, you love animals. But I'm not going to eat them. All right. Don't eat the animals. What happened? Huh? They die anyways at the end because they are, in order to keep the balance, they have to die. So the new generation will live. Come on, man. Either today they died or 10 years later, or 2 years later, or 2 months later they died. We see that the balance, they are created for you. They multiplied. For example, can you imagine all the hen eggs become chickens? In 10 years' time, the surface of the earth is full of chickens, hens. There is no room for human beings to live. The balance, man. The creator says, okay, eat this, don't eat that. Okay? Do this, don't do that, in order to keep the balance. Don't be greedy. But at the same time, satisfy your need. Satisfying your need is not a greed, not spoiling the harmony, the mutual assistance. So we understand that this arrangement is the result of compassion. Bismillah on the universal scale, easily be seen by human beings. Within it, it's not separated from it. On the face of the earth, Ar-Rahman. Shall we stop? Because we are, yeah, I think. And then, third aspect, human side is a completely another matter. So complicated, with one condition from now, we have to keep in our mind, human side, human aspect means not body, human body. It is a part of earth, ultimately part of the universe. Earth is the part of the universe. My body is the part of the universe, but I have one side, so interesting, human soul. It is part of the universe, but at the same time, not of the same nature of the universe. What's that? Yeah. So, for example, universe is subject to change. Human soul is not. So, universe is dependent on each other. Human soul acts independently. Every human being is a unique being, right? Human feelings. Anyway, human side. Inshallah, next Saturday, inshallah, we will continue from how Ar-Rahim, very compassionate. So we will see that compassionate, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. How the Rahim manifests itself primarily, not necessarily only, primarily on human soul. What are the quality of the soul? What are they going to be fulfilled, etc.? And how can we really attribute it to the creator of the universe? Next week, inshallah. Okay, I'm marking it. Today is 29.
And he didn't mention about mercy on in the first stem, which is universe,
No, God. But
just God.
primarily, they are primarily, not only. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alim hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. So please take care of the brownies if they are left over. It's for you. So everybody, please offer if you don't. Assalamu alaikum.